Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com with another update to the Toy Story Pizza Planet truck. And this week we're going to be adding some junk to the interior and box to give it that proper lived-in appearance. And so first up, I made myself this sheet of Pixar-related items. So we've got some large pizza boxes, we've got some Chinese takeout food containers, we've got some audio cassettes, the truck user manual, some soda cans, we've got some license plates, we've got some burger boxes here, and we've got a few soda cups in a couple different sizes. So most of these are pretty straightforward, just cut along the lines, fold them and glue them together. I'll add a few extra details to some of them, but we'll see that as it goes. And start by adding some to the interior, and I'm going to be using my good old-fashioned tacky glue for that. Just going to take a toothpick and dab it in the glue so that I can apply it exactly where I want it. And I'll start here on the floor. A couple of dots, somewhat randomly. I don't want everything crowded together, but I also don't want it spread so far apart that it doesn't look natural. Alright, so I'm going to start with Chinese takeout box. Get that all folded up, have a little wire handle on it. And drop that right there, kind of in the middle. And the next, I'm going to get myself a crumpled soda can. And for that, after I rolled it up, I put a little piece of toothpick in each end and then squeezed it with tweezers. Did the ends in some silver Sharpie so they look like an aluminum can. And the next, one of the things that I didn't actually print out, because there was a piece of crumpled paper in the corner there. So I'm going to take a little piece of paper towel here. I'm just going to tear off a corner, wad it up, just like that. And to make sure that it stays, get a little bit of water, dip it in that. And that ought to hold its shape a little bit easier. You can just drop that right in the glue spot. And now that it's wet, I can even crumple it even closer to the door panel, make it look like it got tossed there. Throw up on the seat, put the user manual there. After I folded that up, did a little bit of weathering to it, just make it look a little bit greasy, like somebody was reading through it when they had dirty hands. More glue dots. Again, want them close enough together to look cluttered, but not everything piled on top of each other. Those, and yeah, first soda cup. So after I rolled this up, I filled in the bottom with white glue. Then I took a punching from an actual Burger King lid, and the straw there is just a little piece of white styrene rod. And I got first audio cassette. Those are just cut out, and I punched through the spools with a straight pen. Stick that down here on the floor. It's kind of propped under the cup there. And put a couple more of those on the seat. Yeah, that's the problem with working with stuff this small. Sometimes it doesn't agree with you. There we go. Alright, put that one right there. Put a second one on top of it. There we go. That's the other nice thing with working with white glue instead of super glue, so I can make a little adjustment here on the fly. And so this is looking pretty good. I want to add just a couple more items to it. So a dot there in the corner. And I'm going to put my first burger box there. So this one is all folded and closed. And didn't really do anything to it other than cut and fold. That can sit right there against the door panel. And that's starting to look appropriately cluttered now. So, what do I want to add next? Add another soda can to it. So, this one is straight and intact, so I only added the lid to one end of it. And I'm going to put a dot of glue on that instead of on the floor. It's getting a little crowded in there, so I don't want to get glue stuck to something else. Lightweight as all these are, you can see it's already being a bit of a pain. There we go. Light as these are, I don't want the toothpick to accidentally pick something up. There we go. Get that stuck down right in the corner there. Yeah. So I think just one more thing in here. And for that, I'm going to do another non-printed item. I'm going to do a scrap piece of aluminum foil. Like he had a burrito and threw out the wrapper on it. So for that, just going to take this little scrap of aluminum foil, crumple it up. Yeah, that looks appropriately trashy. So I'm going to put a little dot of glue on that, just like I did the soda can. And I'll drop that in there right by the transmission pump, kind of filling that last space on the passenger floor. And there we go. There we go. Yeah, it's looking pretty appropriate. I did want to put a pizza box in here, but unfortunately the large pizza boxes won't quite fit on the seat. So I may make another printout with one a little bit smaller, maybe a smaller medium-sized pizza. But at any rate, snap the dashboard in here. And get a good overall view of the interior. And that's looking a lot better than it was when it was too clean. Much more appropriate for the Pizza Planet truck now. So now that the interior's done, time to put some junk in the box of the truck as well. And first thing I'm going to do for that is the big toolbox that crushed Woody in the first movie. This is out of AMT's 34 Ford pickup kit. Looked like just about the exact right size and shape. All I did was a little rust and paint on it. Put gob of glue on the bottom and just put that right up against the front wall. Just like that. And we're going to do some more of the paper stuff now. So, just like inside, I'm going to put a few dots of glue down. Now, the other nice thing with this is if I decide to reposition stuff later, I can always peel off the glue and it's not going to harm the paint at all. Got a open and crushed burger box here. Put a little super glue in the bottom of it so it looked a bit like a grease stain. Got another small cup here. Put that over on this side. Got a large cup here. Put that over with the crushed burger box. And same thing, it's got a punching on the top and a little piece of rod for the straw. What next? I'll do another small cup over here. Got a partially crushed burger box. Put that over here in the corner. That's starting to look appropriately garbagey, so I'll put some toward the back now. Put another large cup back here. crushed cup with no lid on it. Put that right next to it. So there's that. Don't need the giant cat hair in there. Now when Woody was riding around the back of the truck, we saw a tennis ball bouncing around. So for that, I'm going to take a straight pin with a big round tip on it, and I'm going to paint that up in green with a little bit of stripe on it. So that gives me a pretty passable tennis ball. And without the rest of the straight pin on it, I can put that in a corner with that little stub totally hidden from view. And I'm going to put it by this rear fender well here. Yeah, we'll put it here. Put it here in the corner. Not sure about this. I might move this later. Drop it in there with the stub hidden. There's my tennis ball. So now I did make one of the pizza boxes before I found out that it was too big to fit on the seat properly. So to make it look more appropriate for the back of the truck, that's better. So I'm going to put some glue on the back side of this. And I think I'm going to use it to cover over one of the holes in the floor. So this truck was supposed to have, I think it was seats in the back of it. So it's got a couple of mount holes in the floor. That covers that over nicely. I might want to throw a couple more things in later, but I think for right now that's looking pretty good. The last thing that I wanted to add is I'm going to start with a little straight pin here. A smaller head than what I used for the tennis ball. Got a bead. Stack that just like that. Glue those together. I'm going to take a little bit of styrene, add it to the base here, as well as the sides. Cut off that pin. Repeat 2 more times, and that is going to give me my little rearview mirror space aliens. I've got a single piece of stranded wire going up the back for the hook to hang them from, and I've got rearview mirror already installed, so all I need to do is hook them over that, and there we go. I've got my little aliens hanging from the mirror like they're supposed to be. Yeah, they're not perfect, but they look pretty decent in there, so I'm happy with how that's looking. And there we go. Use most of the junk for the interior and the box of the truck. Now I may add a couple more items, and I definitely want to get a pizza box that'll fit the seat here, but for the most part, this is exactly how I was hoping it was going to go. And at this point, it's time for me to start pulling everything together. So I'm going to finalize these details, and then it's going to be time to build the cap for the back. So that is going to be next week's project. You can check back then, and thanks for watching.